Welcome to this Automation World video podcast sponsored by Schneider Electric. In this podcast, we'll look at how industrial automation users are looking to standardize their approach to production-related software applications to reduce maintenance, risks, and costs. And though what we'll be talking about today can be applied across industries, this podcast will take a special look at applications in the water industry. I'm David Greenfield, Director of Content at Automation World, and joining me for this discussion is Scott Clark, Director of Configuration Management for Schneider Electric. So Scott, users across multiple industries are talking about standards management, largely because of the complexity associated with using multiple different types of software to program and access multiple types of controllers, HMIs, etc. Now, based on your experience working directly with industrial users, particularly in the water industry, how are you seeing this play out on a day-to-day basis?
So we're seeing that customers today need standardization. They need standardization to ensure they can de-skill their processes, they can reduce maintenance, reduce risk, and reduce cost. So we're seeing this as a real driver for all of our customers today. What we're seeing, though, is as they invest money in the development of standards, those standards become a noose around their neck because they have to maintain the standards, they have to deploy the standards, and they end up with multiple branches of the standards. Specifically where they're working with different hardware platforms, when they're going to, say, a Rockwell platform and a Siemens platform and a Schneider platform, they have to have a different standard for each platform.
Now, looking at the water industry specifically, what are users most interested in as it relates to automation software standardization?
So within wastewater and water treatment, our customers are looking at PLC and DCS hardware, specifically PLC, especially with the new M580. So they're looking at technologies that they can roll out onto typically PLC platforms and hopefully with RTUs as well. So we're looking at configuration tools that can integrate those two things together. They're also looking at advanced things like profiling, 15-minute profiling intervals so they can work out what's happening in advance to change set points across a whole network. They're looking at single pane of glass where they want every plant to look the same, behave the same, and feel the same so they can have maintenance people go from site to site and they can handle multiple sites without any confusion or complexity. They also want to be able to control from a central control station. From that central control, they want to have the same look and feel regardless of the facility they're looking at. They don't want to have green meaning running on one plant and red meaning running on another plant. They need consistency.
So if that's what they're most interested in today when it comes to modernizing their operations, where are they at today, though, and how do they plan to get to where they want to be?
They want to build systems that are future-proof. They want to be able to work with technologies they have today, but they want to know that everything they develop today and they invest in will carry forward when the world changes. We all know the Internet of Things is coming. We all know the world is changing, but we don't know what it looks like yet. So what they want to know is that their investment in anything they do today is going to carry them through to the future. They want to know that the standards they build are going to reduce their risk and cost in rolling out their systems, but they don't want their standards to be a burden. So they want to build a system that's agile, future-proof, and easy to consume.
Are there specific challenges for this industry, the water industry that is, that you typically see when it comes to adopting these kinds of technologies as part of a modernization process?
Yeah, the specific challenges that customers face with this is they have an install base of existing hardware. They can't afford to rip and replace. It's too risky, it's too costly. So they need a system that can work with what they've got today but carry them through to the future. So they need systems that can work on the various technologies. They might not be standard on we're all Rockwell or we're all Schneider or we're all Siemens because through acquisitions they have different systems. They have different systems they have to manage. They have OEM packages that come in, vendor packages. They have to be able to manage all of these different systems and they have to be able to build a standard that will work with that today and carry them through to the future.
So how do you work with these users to address those kinds of challenges?
To address these challenges for our customers, we're developing products today that can work with their install base and give them the freedom to work with Internet of Things and other technologies that are evolving. We're providing a framework that's an open, decoupled framework that can work with those products that we don't even know exist yet. So we have to build a product that can work with the install base, that they can invest confidently in their standards. We're putting in technologies to reduce risk, so we're de-skilling and reducing risk by including technologies that allow to determine when it's safe to download. Stuff that's not there today in current technology, but it's going to be required as we head to the future and we end up with more complex systems with more devices. We need this level of control. So we're putting this agility into our products today to carry them through to the future.
So, Scott, can you give us a specific example of a customer you've worked with to do this?
A good customer example we'd have using this technology is Sydney Water. They're a customer that requires two supply policies, so they have to have two PLC vendors. So they have Schneider Electric and Siemens as their chosen vendors. So they need a system that can deploy to both platforms confidently. So they've rolled out Prometheus. It's currently rolling out on their Siemens platforms. They've done 2 projects in Siemens, and now we're heading into our Unity projects with them. So it gives them the freedom to choose the appropriate system they need for the job, to stay compliant with government rules, and get the benefit of standards management and standard utilization.
Now, looking at what you did with Sydney Water, how can other customers accomplish similar savings?
So other customers can now get savings from the work we've done in this configuration tool. So we've invested in a library of standard templates that they can consume and roll out automatically out of the box. They can take the benefit of the deployment technologies that we've put in for safe deploy so that it makes it easier and safer for them to make change. Really, at the end of the day, the biggest problem a customer has is the fear of changing a PLC, a fear of improving and performance enhancements on their project. So we need to give them an environment, a configuration tool that can take that risk away and give them the confidence to make the change. More importantly, to be able to give the process people the confidence to review and make the changes. That's where the return on investment comes for our customers. When the process engineer can actually get involved and it's not lost through the translation to a control engineer, the process engineer can now have more control over the outcome.
Well, thank you, Scott, and thank you for joining us for this video podcast. For more information, please visit the website shown here.